Hello, welcome back to Oracle DBA tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about atomicity properties of a transaction. So to understand this properties, we are going to take three scenarios and we'll explain you atomicity on these three different scenarios. So let's consider the first scenarios. In this first scenario, which we have a, this is how it is. We have a table B, and in table B we have a column called B, and then that is of integer type, and then we insert a value to 0. So that means at this point the value of B is 0, and then we have committed. And then we create another table A, and then we have a check constraint in that table that the value of A will be always greater than 0. That means you can insert 1, 2, 3, 4, but you cannot insert -1, 0, and so on. All right, so that is what it says about this in the constraint. All right, and then what we did is we are going to create a trigger, and that trigger is going to be on the table A, and if on table A we insert a row, then we are going to update the tables B's column B with an with +1. All right, that means if I'm successful inserting 1, then this value is going to be become 1. If I insert 10, then this become 2. If I do 14, then this become 3, and so on. So whatever the number of columns, number of rows I'm going to insert to table A, and each time when I insert something to table A, the before insert trigger is going to fire, and it is going to update the value of the column B of table B with whatever value +1. So if this is our scenario, let's try to figure out if we do insert into A, say I give value 1. Okay, so if I give, and so to start with, this is our, just want to change this thing. So there is nothing is there, and then initially the value of B is 0, and then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to insert into A 1. So if I do insert A into 1, this basically leads to one more thing, that is going to insert 1 and also update table B with whatever the value of, and then it will do the update statement. So basically essentially this insert, whatever I'm giving, it is coming to insert and update. So insert into table A and update into table B. So whenever I'm going to insert into 1, so it's getting 1 is inserted here, and this value become, let me erase it, so this value become 1. Okay, then we are going to try, let's try to insert into A -1. So if I'm trying to do insert into A into -1, then this is equivalent to having insert into -1, and then before insert I'm going to do this update, right? So basically what is going to do, it is going to update now the value of B is become 1, and then it will make B to 2. But then it comes to see, like, can it, so it's first it update, and update become, because of the update it is this become 2. Okay, so this become 2, but then when it's trying to insert into A -1, because this check constraint is going to fail now. So if the check constraint is going to fail, then it cannot really insert value 2, the value -1 here, it cannot insert. So if it cannot insert, then what is going to do, it is going to automatically roll back, like, since it cannot insert -1, so therefore whatever the value of 2 is not going to be done, is still become 1. So is it clear? So basically what I am saying is that this insert statement, if it fails, then whatever things that is changing because of this insert is also going to be rolled back, and this is what is essentially called statement level atomicity. Okay, so that means, so the key point here is that this statement is basically generating one more additional statement, which is called update, because of the trigger. So irrespective, if this needs, if if it's successful, then only the update also been going to be done. But if for whatever reason this is going to be fail, then if there is an update, that update is going to be rolled back. Okay, so that update is going to roll back, and this is going to give me a statement level atomicity. What you can do is you can try this thing, and then basically, so I have all these scripts are available, so you can just to make sure that I'm telling the right thing. What you can do, you can try this script, which probably will be available on the website, or you can take it from this video, that you can try this thing and then try to insert -1, and then you'll see what is going on. And this is the concept here is statement level atomicity. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a procedure. In scenario 2, I'm going to create a procedure, and procedure name is test1, and inside that procedure I'm going to do insert into 1 and insert into value -1. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to execute that procedure by test1. Okay, so what do you think the value should be? So let's basically do to start with, A doesn't have anything and B has a value with 0, table B, right? So this is table B and this is table A, and when I'm going to do execute test1, this PL/SQL procedure indeed is going to generate this kind of statement. The first statement is insert into 1, insert into table A1. Because of this insert and because of the trigger that we have already written, in case of your inserting, you are going to update, right? So therefore it is going to do an update of table B, and update value will be 0 plus 1 become 1. So this is first step. The second step, because of this insert. Then we are going to do the second insert. We are going to do the second insert. What is going to do, insert to -1, and then when this get insert into -1, because of the trigger, I'm going to first do update of B, and then I'm going to set to 2, because I'm as if I'm going to insert this thing. But the check constraint is going to fail because we are going to insert -1 value. Then what is going to happen is that all these things is going to be rolled back. Okay, so whatever we have done, all this is going to roll back. The reason is that either test1 is going to be if the test1 is to be successful, the test1 is going to run on entirety. It's not that part of the thing that we are going to run, and part of things are not going to run. So since in a test, so basically think about this way, the moment we are giving execute test1, so it is indeed generating all these SQLs, and all these SQLs together should successful. Okay, and since this thing is failing here whenever we are trying to insert -1, therefore all the other statements whatever is before is also going to be rolled back, and we are going to go to as if nothing has happened, and this is called procedural level atomicity. So if you compare this procedural level atomicity with statement level atomicity, in case of statement level atomicity, this thing just went fine. Okay, but if I want to put them together and I'm going to execute procedure like this, then in order to this procedure to be successful, everything should be properly. So therefore at the end of this execute test1, there will be 0 row here, and so the value is 0 here, and nothing will be inserted here. So we started with a statement level atomicity, where we make one statement to be successful. Then we come on a procedure level atomicity, where we combined couple of things. Then comes the transaction level security. Transaction level, the scenario 3 is transaction level atomicity. So where we will say that this SQL statement 1, SQL 2, 3, 4, all this thing together creates a transaction, and then if you commit, everything will be committed, or if you roll back, all those things will be rolled back. So this is what is all about your atomicity, and then in Oracle implements all three sorts of atomicities, starting from statement to procedural to the transaction level atomicity.